Okay. Does this work now? Can you hear me? Oh no. Hi guys. We got a scuff stream happening. Can you guys hear me? That's quite loud. That's a little better. Hello, Jay. Hello, Relaxing. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. I forgot I had my phone on to test. Okay, it's working. It seems to be working. And it's the correct stream this time. Last time, for some reason, the last stream automatically saved as the wrong thing. I think it switched halfway through, and that's why it glitched. Thank you, Relaxing, for letting me know that it's okay. And thank you for joining, everyone. How are we doing? Welcome, welcome. Love your outfit. Thank you. It's actually, right now it's 42 degrees out Fahrenheit, which is, I don't know how much. It's just over freezing. It's maybe like 8 degrees Celsius, I want to say. I don't know how to convert it yet. But yes, hello. How are we doing? Is anybody else enjoying the weather like I am? I know some people, I know the cold weather people are getting uncharacteristically warm stuff, and the warm weather people are getting uncharacteristically cold stuff. This is very interesting. Well, if you can't tell from the title of the stream and the poll I put up, we're talking about making characters be YouTubers and content creators and stuff, because I think brand identity and developing your voice as a content creator and creating a sense of consistency across your content is a really important factor in creating content that goes beyond just people who have the same interests as you. It goes to creating kind of a business almost. And you don't have to create a business to be a social media person, a content creator, somebody who's creative, but if you want to do these things for a living, you do kind of need to have a little business-minded situation, and since that's what I'm majoring in, that's what I've been thinking about a lot, so that's what we're doing today. We're examining a bunch of fun things. So let me get my setup back up. I did a full reset, you guys. Full reset. Jay says hello again. Hello. Relaxing says, is 8 degrees Celsius normal there? Because 8 degrees Celsius here is very cold. Where I am, Florida, no, it's very much not normal. But for other places, it might be for the winter. Right now, February 1st, 2026, this is winter for the United States because we're in the northern hemisphere. All right, while we're here, we're going to do a little special membership gifting. And we're going to see how the alerts work. Or don't. Oh, you can see that, which is very interesting. I'll need to adjust that. Let me put a note to self here. Congratulations to the recipients. We've got Tare, the Storyteller 6079, Katie Cat Meow Z6491. We've got Julia 33066, KMK.5835, and Savage Fully 2.0, all receiving gifted memberships. Congratulations, you guys. Okay, so we are going to adjust alerts in stream. All right. And let's switch it to live chat so I can see everybody. All right, all right, all right. Yay! Alrighty. Today I had a very busy day. I didn't wake up early this morning, like I did last Sunday, but I did wake up around 7:30, which for me lately has been early. And to do that, I don't know what I was gonna say there. That phrase does not result in any sentence I wanted to say. But I woke up at 7:30 and I went to church. Actually, I frolicked with the dogs, got dressed for cold weather, realized I wasn't dressed warm enough, and then got dressed again, and then went to church. And then I came home and I did homework, and literally with 3 minutes to spare, I finished my homework. So I have been very productive today. So I'm excited to be here with you guys. Relaxing asks, how does this gift membership work? Gift memberships work in the sense that there are perks if you join the channel, and you can do so monetarily by clicking the join button. On my phone, I believe, on mobile it's a little complicated for whatever reason. So let me check. So we've got a live. If you're on your mobile phone, it doesn't look like anything. It's just like, yeah, you know, it's a person doing YouTube. So you might have to actually visit their YouTube channel and see their links. And so if you hit join the community, you'll see the perks. And I have a bunch of different levels. But if while you're on this join the community page and you click those 3 dots, you'll get this thing that says learn more about memberships, report perks, and gift membership settings. Go to the settings, it'll pop this up, and you can allow gift memberships. And then that means when you are a gifted member, YouTube has randomly selected you to be a member of the channel. It is completely random. I don't choose who is or isn't a member. But it's a really cool way for me to let you guys enjoy the perks of the channel without you guys having to pay anything, because I completely relate to not having the capacity to pay for a membership on YouTube. Alexin says, no, I mean, how does this gift membership giveaways choose who to gift? It is completely random from YouTube, so I have no say in it, just whether or not I do the 5 or not. And actually I have 10, so I'm going to do 5 more, and we will see who wins. Dun, dun, dun! We have Ralozan6461, user 666-79W, Stealth Raptor 122, Shadow Talon, Pengu. Congratulations for your gifted membership. Alright. So earlier I was talking about in the poll before the stream crashed and burned, I asked you guys what kind of YouTuber would Luz Noceda be? And it is a 50-50 split between vlogger and other. And the difference between those is going to be between vlogger, media analysis, shorts creator, and other. Is going to be vlogger is going to be like very much reflective of what you're doing in your everyday life, you know, standard vlogger type thing. Media analysis is kind of what this channel is about. I look at media and I analyze the characters, the show as a whole, the clips, the scenes, the structure, the character development, stuff like that. Shorts creator would be anything in the short form realm, and then other could be literally anything else. Maybe a video gamer, or somebody who does arts and crafts, or maybe they're in entertainment, like, I can't think of anybody but Mr. Beast, but I really don't want to say Mr. Beast, but, you know, maybe they're in entertainment and do games like that. Jay says, aw man, maybe next month. I believe you still have your membership from last month, so you have 3 days left on your membership, because I did a double one from December 28th to January 4th, and then now it's February 1st, so there's still 10 people from January 4th who have a membership for 3 more days. That's why you have that little... can you see? I'm not sure. I don't think chat shows you the emojis next to your name, but yeah. All right. So I really liked what Jay said about what Luz would do. And Jay said, I think Luz would be all of those things at once. A vlogger, a media analysis, shorts creator, maybe a gamer, you know, maybe a crafts and artistic person, all of the things. And I really like how you clarified that Luz studied everything at Hexside. So that kind of category would be, oh no, I've been so productive, I can't think. This is, okay. We are facing something I need to, yeah. Hi guys. Who has the brain cells? I don't, but it's good to see you. What do we call that? Mixed content? No. It's not niching down. It's, there's a term for it and I cannot for the life of me remember. It's on the tip of my tongue. Oh my goodness. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, please feel free to share your thoughts. But, yeah, today, I kind of want to just take a minute and explore what consists of brand identity and how these characters would create content and how we can take that when we are creating our own forms of content. So, like, if you want to be a gamer, how would you go about branding yourself and marketing yourself? It doesn't sound fun when you're starting it. Like, obviously, when you want to start gaming, you just want to sit down and start gaming and maybe share your story. But if you want a channel to grow, there is a level of strategy to it. Because I saw a chat message and I lost my train of thought. Is it too late to change the title of the stream? Lord, will you please give me direction and brain cells, and let's just have a good time together in this stream. Amen. Relaxing says, it's called ADHD brain paralysis. It's when you took action, start to work, but your brain stops thinking. I'm not diagnosed with ADHD, so I can't call it that. But I appreciate the empathy. And I'm glad that, well, I don't know that I'm glad that people understand, because it means that you guys struggle with it too, and it's quite frustrating. But shake it out. Shake it out. I've been focusing and using my brain cells for so long that they don't want to focus anymore. So let's just get into the vibe of things and see if we can figure something out, yeah? Alrighty. So we can put a little face cam here. I configure the video just like that. Hi guys. And let's make sure that the mic is working. Yes, it is. Alrighty, so I wanted to start with an example of my channel. My channel is Neurodivergent Lily. And to form my identity, I would go with descriptors, labels, and interests. So, descriptors of my channel identity. That would probably look like... we're cozy chaos. Jay says, ooh, what font is that? This is Funtastic. And in this size, it's 143. You'll actually see in my visual branding, let's start there because that's what you guys are naturally drawn to, my visual branding. So my visual branding has these color schemes, which I shamelessly stole from Mariposa's profile picture art that is now on my profile picture. If you check my channel profile picture, if I send a message, the colors, let me just respond to your message. Fantastic. If you look at chat or you look at my channel profile picture, you'll see that I literally took the colors from this art from Mari and I made it into a branding palette. So the black is not actually just straight up black font. It's just like slightly off black. And then there's gray, not white. There's light pink. There's really loud music in my ears. There's a darker green and a lighter green, a brown and a blue. So if you correlate these colors to the profile picture, you'll see that the white on my outfit is this gray. The pink of my hair and my, I think, ton is this pink, this pale pink. And the darkness here is kind of like the outline color. There's a green combo here, so I used both greens, the light and the dark, so that I can vary it up. And then the brown is the hair and the blue is the background. And so these colors compose my visual branding. And then I also have one font, Fantastic, and one for most of my stuff, because it's easy to read and it's soft on the eyes. It's what you call a sans serif, because there's no like little flippy thing. Both of these are sans serif, and then I have handy casual for little details. So for example here, if we want to talk about my identity, we have the Fantastic, and then we're going to switch it over to the handy casual to create a natural hierarchy of ideas. Relaxing, if you could rephrase your message, I would appreciate that, because I do want to hear what you have to say. I do indeed. I'm realizing that chat is not here. Haha! I found chat! Alright, so I would say descriptors for my identity on Neurodivergent Lily. I would say that I really emphasize like a cozy chaos vibe. I would say that we're whimsical. I would say that we're curious. And the labels that I have embraced are neurodivergent, weirdos, and creators. Because a lot of the people watching my content are neurodivergent. We identify as weirdos because a lot of us come from Owl House fandom stuff, and a lot of us are creatives. And then we have interests. And for my channel, I would say that my interests are storytelling, because I love talking about how shows and books tell a story with different elements, literary devices, filmmaking devices, photography, perspective, stuff like that. I also think that an interest of mine is accessibility, figuring out how to make normally not accessible content, whether it's children's shows for adults or making like connections that would be seen in college discussion boards apply to kids shows and stuff like that. And then also representation. You know, I love my representation. And so these descriptors of what I want my community to be, labels of who I identify as, and the community that I want to build my community with, and the interests that I have that I want my content to be about, form my brand identity. So when we're talking about Luz Noceda and we're forming a identity, it's not necessarily who is Luz Noceda as a character, but who would Luz Noceda want to be online? Relaxing says, I'm not diagnosed with ADHD by a doctor, but I did research online, found symptoms of it, so I knew I have ADHD. Ah, okay, so you did research and you reflected and you did self-diagnosis, which I believe in the ADHD community has, last I heard, it was encouraged in a way, so long as, you know, you're using it to accommodate yourself rather than, you know, like, oh, I'm so ADHD, I can't focus, you know, like, don't want to stigmatize, but I think it sounds like you did research and you're like, no, I really, really feel like I identify with that. So with Luz, she may feel like the people that she wants to connect with through labels might also be neurodivergent weirdos. I would say she'd probably start with weirdos. I'm not sure about creators though. Yeah. For me personally, when it comes to self-diagnosis, and I'm not judging anybody who does self-diagnosis, I'm just sharing my personal experience. My brain is really good at pattern recognition, and so if I let myself self-diagnose, then I end up diagnosing myself with a bunch of stuff that I don't have. And so what I find is more helpful for me personally, and this is just my personal experience, I'm not shoving it on anybody else, is to just, if I resonate with symptoms of a certain condition, I look for ways to accommodate those symptoms, but I don't mentally associate with that diagnosis because I don't know, I don't feel like I can, with the way that my brain works, I don't think I'm a very reliable source for whether or not I have something or not. Relaxing says, it's like constantly many work thoughts, but doing something else than work, like one dopamine chase and I lose focus. My brain is constantly chasing dopamine like scrolling. That sounds frustrating. Relaxing. Alrighty. So when it comes to Luz Noceda, and we do some visual branding, I think of the color purple. So I'm going to do the color purple, and it's almost like a bluish purple for her. And it's kind of lighter. I'd say it's about that shade of purple. And then I would also imagine snakes. That's a common motif for her. Is Luz has a lot of snakes involved with her. She's got a talisman that's a snake. She released snakes in the first episode that we met her. I would also say that, like, circles are associated with her because of glyph circles and whatnot. So I would maybe consider different circles or bubbles as part of her branding visually, is what represents Luz. I would consider, with visual branding, what do I want people to associate me with in connotation? We are going to change the playlist because I don't like this one. This is much better. This is much more my style. All right. So I would say bubbles. I would say snakes. I would say this color. Jay says, I think you could add white and yellow to Luz's colors. That's a good idea. So I'm going to yellow. I'm going to do off-white. So that it's slightly different. If I zoom in, you can see that there's a slight difference between this white and the white of the background. And that just kind of makes it a little more cohesive with the purple. And then definitely yellow, I would agree. Hello, Kieran. If you could rephrase your message, I would appreciate it because I would love to see what you have to say. But unfortunately, we have to have like strict moderation with Streamlabs, and it kind of gets it wrong sometimes. But welcome back, Kieran. How you doing? We just created the non-binary flag, or the beginning of it. We've got with the black text, we've basically got a non-binary flag for Luz, which is funny. Let's bring the snake forward. And there's not enough contrast. That's something in visual branding that you want to consider, is contrast between your stuff. So like this red, for example, contrasts really beautifully with each of these colors. So red would be a good contrast. Blue is also a really nice contrast color with these. It complements the purple and it contrasts really pretty with the others. Once it gets into that greenish teal, not so much, but yeah. Relaxing says maybe Luz Noceda is non-binary. Relaxing, have you seen The Owl House? I believe... Or was there hints that she was non-binary? I haven't watched it in forever. Let's see if we have any uploads. I don't. Oh, that's frustrating. Jay says a lot of people, including me, headcanon her to be. That's fair. I knew that it was a major headcanon, but I wasn't sure if it was canonical or not. But that's okay. When it comes to creating your personal branding, you get to decide who you are, even if it's not necessarily reflective of how people perceive you in normal life. All right. Relaxing says nope, but I did just see her thumbnail on YouTube. Ah, gotcha. Okay, so we've got some visual branding. Let's work on some fonts. So with Luz, I would say that she's really creative and quirky and fun. And so I would say that, like, bubble... That is so loud. Why is it so loud? Okay, I would say that bubble fonts would definitely fit Luz Noceda. So we're gonna try and look for bubble. Let's see what works. And let's do a... Let's say day in the life human witch. Let's say that's gonna be one of her YouTube videos. So I'm not liking any of these text styles, which is okay. We could do a Chewy. That's the one that I did for a long time. I do like the quirky unevenness of Mary Kate. I might make that the equivalent of the handy casual. Mary Kate. Relaxing says I'm more into anime than cartoons, like Shin-chan, Doraemon, Ninja Hattori. Cool. I have not seen any anime. Lulu font definitely looks, it's giving Amity. This is exactly what I imagine Amity would do if she were a content creator. So we are going to save this for Amity. Day in the life of Amity Blight. Because I would say that her family has a lot of, like, influence and power. And so... Amity Blight. Ah! Okay. Still not loose, though. Trying to find loose. She's not afraid to take up... She's not afraid to take up space. So I'm okay with, like, bigger and bolder font choices. I really like this. It doesn't fit her exactly, but I do like it. Let's do... maybe Avatar? Avalon? I'm getting closer. I like the messy. I like the bold, messy fonts. I think if it were just a little softer, a little too inconsistent. Blueberry. I like that. It's inconsistent, but it's like quirkily so, and it's got a pattern, which makes it a lot more cohesive. And then it has a lot of the same characteristics as Mary-Kate, but where Mary-Kate is pointed, I noticed that Blueberry, I'm going to rewrite it, Blueberry is a little rounder. So we've got a little contrast here, which I appreciate in pairing different fonts together. Okay, so we have visual branding, where we have the colors, maybe a motif, some fonts. Then we're gonna do identity. So we know that she's gonna label herself as a weirdo. Let's talk about interests. I know she's interested in magic. She's interested in Adora. She's interested in animals. Those are good starts. And then I would say descriptors would definitely be creative. She would be... colorful. And then... creative, colorful. I would say hopeful. / bright. And maybe that's a little tongue-in-cheek because her name is Luz and, you know, bright, light, haha. But I do think that would be a good descriptor for her. Relaxing says she's interested in girls. Yep. Her bi. So we could put that in there. Luz is bi. And then I would say she's also going to label herself as a witch. Because in season 3, when she's self-identifying herself, she'll say that she's a child of the human realm, student of the demon realm. And so she recognizes she's human, but she's also managed to be a witch. So we've got these 3 identity factors: creative, colorful, hopeful / bright. She's a weirdo. She's a bi person, and she's witch. She's bi, and she's a witch. There we go. I flipped the articles required for comment. And then her interests are magic, Adora, and animals. So from this, we will consider content pillars. So, content pillars have to do with what you want to talk about. So for mine, I said I talk about fandom stuff. Community is a big content pillar for me because I love cultivating this community where you guys chat with each other, and it's not just about you guys seeing me, but it's everybody interacting with each other. There's also emphasis on creativity. There's also focusing that has recently blossomed in my content. So these are placeholders. Going back to me, examples. Let me just save these so I can reuse the font style. An example of fandom would be my analysis videos. I would say another example would be cosplay. And that'll be it for the fandom. Oh, and also reaction videos. For the community, we have our Sunday streams. We have our Wednesday streams. And there's also a Discord. Relaxing says, why is it only me here live? Probably because I'm being very out of character with the content here. Usually I'm a little more hyped, and Jay is here, but I'm not asking as many questions. It's very much just like, hi guys, I'm gonna lecture you, and that's not usually my style. And I don't know why I actually chose to do this sort of video if that's not my style. Because that's really against what we're talking about here. Maybe ultimately it's going to be like, for example, see how I didn't follow my identity or my content pillar of community in this one, and I made it all about me and what I have to offer. And so very few people clicked on the video and there was less chat. Well, actually, it's just because it was last minute and I am so tired, I'm off my game, and people are busy. There's a storm that is wrecking some power grids, and people are busy, and it's at 6:30. So, you know, like, there are so many different factors. One of them being, I'm not committing to my pillar of community. I haven't asked you guys a lot of questions. I haven't involved you guys the way that I usually do. Relaxing, I'm really uncomfortable with that phrasing, so I'm gonna delete that comment. That music was way too intense for the stream. Anyhoodles, I value community, and I value boundaries being respected. One of those boundaries is don't talk about dates or dating me, or suggest that you're going to date me, or suggest that streams are virtual dates. That's so uncomfortable, and it really makes me uncomfortable. So please don't ever do that again. Okay, I'm not mad. I'm just really uncomfortable. Jay says, yeah, there's a lot going on. I agree. And like I said, I am not giving my usual best Sunday evening stream vibes. Usually it is an activity. Usually it is a hangout. And this is kind of a video sort of thing. Relaxing says, oh, I'm so sorry. It's alright. I forgive you. All's good as long as we follow content community guidelines, please. Alright. Let's try and make it so that you guys can see the screen a little better. So community, I usually do Sunday streams as like community nights. Wednesday streams, we hang out. Relaxing says, I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. I'm really sorry. I understand you didn't mean to. Unfortunately, there are very few things that make me so, set a boundary so fast, and I'm sorry that I reacted so big. Just saying it one time would have been enough, and I'm sorry for the big reaction. There's just one thing that I'm working on, responding differently. So thank you for understanding. Alrighty. Creativity-wise, as a content pillar, we can do cosplay again. I also do art and crafts, sometimes on stream. So all of those have to do with creativity as a content pillar. And then focusing would be the Wednesday focus streams, where we hang out and we do focusing. All right. So, for my channel, these are my content pillars. When I want to create a new piece of content, this is where I get it from. I'm like, okay, are we going to be building up my fandom content pillar, my community content pillar, my creativity content pillar, or my focusing content pillar? Really, it's more so like, what am I in the mood for? I really like doing fandom stuff. I really like, you know, being with the people. I really like focusing on things. Well, I don't like focusing, but I like being with people as I focus, and I like being creative. So depending on how I feel, I do that sort of thing. So for Luz, her content pillars would probably look like fandom, yes. And she might have a community, but it might just be like daily life. Jay says, I'd say this counts as a fandom thing, to be honest. Yeah. I definitely have fandom elements in this. But as you can see with the content, cooking content when? Hi Shadow, welcome in. How we doing? You don't have any cooking content. That was something I used to do. That would be in the community, I would say. Probably a Sunday stream. But when it comes to content pillars, the more you can throw into a video, the better. So with Wednesday focus streams, it's not just focusing, it's also community. And when I throw in an angle to frame it related to fandom, then it's even better. So you would notice that when I have specific fandom branding in my study streams, you'll notice that we are hitting the focus, the community, and the fandom all in one content or all in one video, and it does a lot better than if it was just like, we have a Pomodoro timer and that's it. There's no community, it's just timers and I don't interact with you guys. There's no fun music, it's just, you know, rain. And that's okay if that's what your content pillars are. But for me, these are mine. This is what you guys expect from me. And so the more I can incorporate into a video, the better. Community-wise, I always want to involve you guys in my videos, even if they're pre-made analysis videos or cosplay or reaction videos. I try to keep in mind what you guys are interested with the cosplay. I try to pick reaction videos, or I try to react to shows and content that you guys care about as a community. And my analysis videos, I always frame those in my head when I'm scripting them. I always frame that as like, hey, what do I want the community to leave this video knowing? And usually it's something really soft and sickeningly sweet, like, you're loved, you matter, your existence makes a difference in this world, and I'm glad you're here. Relaxing says, when I make people uncomfortable, I fear that will end our friendship. That's why I apologize for so much. I don't want to end our friendship. A real friendship doesn't end just because you make somebody uncomfortable, unless it's a consistently done thing. So like if I said, hey, please don't suggest that we're dating, and then you kept on doing that, that would be worth ending a relationship. But if I set a boundary and then you respect that boundary, or you set a boundary and I respect that boundary, that means that we're reinforcing our friendship and showing that we trust each other and that we respect each other, and that should grow a friendship, not end it. So thank you for respecting that boundary, now that you know that it's there. I'm not thinking any further on it. I've moved on to content pillars. I recognize that I responded really strongly, and I do regret that, and I'm sorry. I should have responded less dramatically. Shadow says you totally look like a reincarnation of the Doctor today. Is it the scarf? It's the scarf. Streamlabs. Why do you have the worst timing, Streamlabs? Oh my word. Alright, so with that info dump about content pillars in there, let's talk about Luz Noceda's content pillars. I think she would definitely talk about fandom. I think she would have daily life stuff. I think she would have crafts. And I think she would probably... I think she would have a podcast. I'm gonna be real. I think she would have a podcast. And so the associated pillars for Luz Noceda, like the content ideas, I think she would definitely do cosplay. I think she would most definitely... How can I make it so you can see it's fandom? I think Luz would, in addition to cosplaying, I think she would make headcanon videos. I think she would make edits of characters. And I'm gonna stop there for fandom, because I could go on and on about fandom stuff. Daily life, I think she would do vlogs. I would say day in the life of which student, whatever. I think she would also play video games with me and my besties. I think she would definitely incorporate her Hexolio friends in on her content. With crafts, I think she would bring you into the process of cosplay tutorials. I think she would do, what was it? Paper mache. And, crafting glyphs. We'll say that. Relaxy says, I'm an overthinker, so it's just going around my head for long. Well, know that I've released it, so you have my full permission to release it. Next time it comes up, go, Lily's forgiven me. We're all good. Jay says, OMG, what if she and Amity had a Good Witch Azura podcast? Good Witch Azura podcast, let's go. Good Witch Azura podcast. What is paper mache? It's where you take paper. I'm gonna try and show it. So like paper by itself just is paper, obviously, but when you mix it with like glue and water, you can shape it into something and then it stays in that shape. Fandom would also be a Lazura book club. Yes. Okay. I think she would also, in that same vibe of like what she would do, because she's such a book nerd, I would say she would do study with me at the library with my girlfriend Amity. I think that would definitely be something. You're running out of space. Wow. Like origami? Kind of. Shadow says budget plaster casting. Alright. I mean, I can't disagree. Let me see if I can come up with elements. Paper mache. Are there any, like, videos of paper mache? Let me add it to this and then see if you can make sense of it from the video. So this is what it looks like. It's paper and glue molded to the shape of something, and then it dries and you can like paint it and stuff. Hi Pengu! It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in like 2 years. Oh my gosh, hi! And Ember is here. Hello, hello. Good to see you guys. Jay says she would also do stuff with her OCs, for sure. OCs. Pengu says, would she do collab streams with Lily? I think for sure. I think she would definitely have me on her podcast. And then I would have her on my podcast, the Lilypad podcast. The Lilypadcast. Bayo. Relaxing says, oh, I've seen this type of work on a show called Art Attack. Cool. Collab streams. Ember says, howdy all. Going to be listening and lurking for a bit. Have a good lurk. I wonder, can you do redeem lurk? Pengu says, what do you mean? I was here a couple days ago doing the puzzle. I was cool guy, lol. Oh, I thought that was Mr. Not Mr. Smart 75. I thought that was Mr. Conductor Bro. Redeem lurk does not work. Oh, man. I thought I had that. Shadow says, basically, if you mix paper and glue together, the paper holds its shape, the glue dries hard, making the paper rigid. Cool. Alright, so, we don't need that anymore. So we've got content pillars, we've got fandom, daily life, crafts, and podcast. We also have Amity Blight that we're gonna do some other time. Okay, so I'm gonna take this, we're gonna delete this, and just make Luz Noceda's one whole thing here. So we accidentally created the non-binary flag a bit. We have a snake, we have some fonts, and we have the name. We've identified her as creative, colorful, hopeful, and bright. She's a weirdo. She's a bi witch, and I really need to fix that order because I'm going to mispronounce this eventually. Shadow says, redeem Confucian. And then Luz's interests are magic, Adora, and animals. So from that, we created these content pillars that we think she would have. And now we can start talking about posting frequency, style, and vibes. Luz would have an exploring section called I'm gonna put my face in it. I don't know which one to do. Daily life? I'm gonna put my face in it. And then it would be a podcast specials. My face has been where? Relaxing says, very cozy song right now. What's its name? Oh no, I don't have. Let me share the Spotify. That's not the Spotify I meant. Hold up. But this is Gerudo Valley. If you're wondering how I have this little thing up here, it's just I just press the mini player and I exit out of this and we get the mini player. So if I put this over here and then I make Spotify Gerudo Valley. I can't find it because that's just how it works apparently today. That's okay. We're gonna put it over here now. It'll just live over here now. This current song is a remix of Zelda. It is indeed. Okay, so brief pause to meta-converse about content creation and stuff. Going back to my identity of being a neurodivergent weirdo creator whose interests are in cozy chaos, whimsical curiosity, and I love storytelling, accessibility, and representation. Notice how that influences my content pillars, right? We've got cozy chaos, whimsical, curious, that kind of informs the style. We've got labels, which influence, you know, we're gonna do nerdy stuff. And our art and stuff, that's very creative. And then storytelling, accessibility, representation, we're making focusing accessible, stuff like that. And then also, keep in mind how the content pillars, as soon as I started talking about things that involved chat's opinions, stuff that you guys could input in, talking about community, and not just analyzing my channel, but also incorporating what would it look like for Luz. It means that we could get creative about a fandom we love together as a community and focus on one thing. As soon as I incorporated all 4 pillars together, we started getting chatty. Not to say that I caused that, but I'm noticing a pattern here. And if you want to reflect on your own content, see what patterns pop up yourself. When do people want to join in, and what makes them run away? That's actually why I lost a good portion of the subscribers I got from that 172 Parallels video in 2022. I started intentionally making decisions that included none of my content pillars. I didn't have anything about daily life or, like, I don't know, awkwardness, I guess. And I started doing daily life stuff, even though very strongly I had created a fandom creativity focusing content pillar. And by just switching up a content pillar, I disrupted the algorithm and it stopped recommending me. So if you can incorporate your content pillars, you might just find that the algorithm loves you. Okay, so we've got her identity. We've got our content pillars. Let's talk about posting frequency, style, and vibes. So for me, an example for me is I post videos Sundays for live streams. We also have Wednesday live streams. And then we also have, I try to do weekly analysis or reaction videos. So weekly long form videos. I was sick and then I've been catching up on homework, so kind of fell off the bandwagon, but hopefully this week I'll be able to put it out and it'll be closer to Monday, Wednesday sort of upload schedule now. And then shorts as wanted, I guess. How do I do it? I do it in live streams, I do it in long forms, I do it in shorts, and I do it in posts. And then the vibes, I'm gonna say they're very nerdy. They are go with the flow. It's going to be very imperfect and human. And it's going to be warm. That's kind of the vibes I'm going for, right? So we've got that cozy chaos sort of thing. We've got all of these different types of content. And the when is I'm trying to do mostly throughout the week. Yeah. Why am my little name Dino cuter than the others? Because you've been Ben. Ben 10, congrats on your new identity, Pangu. No, because you have been a supporter for longer than the others. Or shorter. I think that's longer, though. I think you've been a member for slightly longer than the others. Because we didn't always have membership gifting, and you signed up for it immediately, I think, and did it for a couple months. Pangoose very smart analysis. Thank you. Relaxing says, I have no idea about Percy Jackson or Luz, so I don't think I'll be able to tell my opinions on that. You forgot to add positive on vibes. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, Relaxing. That's very sweet. Positive. I accept that. Assignment. Okay. So for Luz, we're actually going to copy the whole thing. Hold up. For Luz, we are going to want to figure out when she does it. So keep in mind, for content pillars, let's just make a list of the things that she would do. She would do streams. She would do a podcast. She would do vlogs. And she would definitely do random shorts with friends. So we're going to start with that. So let's say she would do weekly game streams with her friends. Let's say she would do a weekly podcast. I'm imagining, I don't know why, but I'm imagining like a Friday podcast vibe. So we're going to say Friday podcast with Amity. We're going to do... Oh, would Luz do daily vlogs? Or would she just kind of vibe with, like, whenever the dopamine allows? Because I think with the streaming and the podcast and everything else she gets herself into, I think it would be, random vlogs. Pengu says she literally vlogged for her mother. This is crazy. I know, right? But canonically, she only vlogged for her mother as a form of, like, journaling. And that seemed to be whenever she needed to journal, not necessarily as a rule. So I think she would definitely vlog, but I don't think it would be, you know, every day, because that is a whole entire commitment. And she's still studying. She's still the main character. Just because she's not the main character of a Disney show anymore doesn't mean that she's not the main character of her life. So, and then the shorts with friends, I think she would do daily shorts with friends, because she would definitely do, like, she would do all of the dance routines with Amity, and she would do all of the, haha, I'm recording you, and I got this really funny moment, and I'm, you know, memorializing it on the internet with Gus and Willow and Hunter. I think she would definitely just, like, show, like, cat content. Oh, streams. She would definitely do cat cam or palace cam. It's right there. Palace cam. I think she would definitely do that. I think her vibes would be constantly go, go, go. So very high energy. I think it would be very chaos. Luz would do random prank vlogs, but in a fun way. Yes. Pranks. She would do entertainment / challenge videos. I would say monthly, so that they could really, like, plan it out and make it an event. Ember says, hey, a Palisman cam. Also back from lurking. Welcome back, Ember. It's good to see you. How are you doing? Alright, so we've got the when, we've got the how, and we've got the vibes. We've got our content pillars, ideas that she can build upon, because each of these isn't just one video, it's a bunch of categories of videos. Just cosplaying? There's so many different ways you can cosplay. You can do videos about, and in fact, let's do it. Let's duplicate this page, and let's examine each content pillar specifically and come up with a bunch of video ideas for Luz. All right. So under cosplay, we're gonna have tutorials. We're gonna have acting / POV cosplays, kind of like I do. We're gonna do other stuff. As we come up with ideas. I'll add them to the different sections. Relaxing says, I heard it sometimes you're not the main character in everybody's life, but you're the main character in your own. Oh, that's really cute. I love that. Jay says, oh wait, I didn't tell you all about this. I'm going to start working on a Pokemon and Owl House crossover fanfic soon. Oh my gosh, somebody tell Justin. Somebody tell Justin. That's like, if you throw in Ace Attorney, that's like 3 of Justin's special interests in one. That's amazing. That's so cool. Are you going to share? It's okay if you don't. As a very wise person said, cough cough, it was you in one of your posts, and it's stuck with me since. Sometimes it's okay to just create content for the sake of making content. That has stuck with me ever since you posted that, like a year and a half ago. And even if all you do with the fanfic is create it, that's valid. That being said, I'm very interested in this and I would love to hear it. Or read it. Ember says, I'm doing alright, trying to stay warm since it's currently 43 degrees where I am, and yes, that is cold for the subtropical part of Florida. Ember says, aw, that's awesome, Jay. I hope it turns out well. I know, right? It's 39 degrees where I am. It's 39 degrees, and it was 25 this morning, and with wind chill, it got down to 8 degrees, which, for you Celsius people, 32 degrees Celsius. 32 degrees Fahrenheit is equal to 0 degrees Celsius. So 25, which is the actual temperature that it was this morning, that was -4 degrees Celsius. Going down to 8, I don't know what that is, but it's cold and I loved it. Now it is 39 degrees, so we are, I don't know, 6 degrees Celsius? I'm guesstimating that one. Alright, so we've got headcanon videos. That is not how you create a thing. Headcanon videos. We're gonna do, I think, Azura dating headcanons. We're gonna do, this scene means that something blank. Character arc analyses. I know I said headcanon, but, you know, like, headcanoning that a certain character is another character. Relaxing says, is 18 degrees Celsius cold for you? Because here it is. I don't know what 18 degrees Celsius is. Right now, I would say it's nice and chilly outside. That's what I would say. -4 in Florida is crazy, says Pengu. That's not normal. I thought it was all sunny and palm trees. Oh, it was so sunny. And there are still palm trees. And now they're wearing clothes because we didn't want them to freeze and die. So a good number of my neighbors just put their laundry and their laundry sheets out over their plants. It's very interesting. It's like Halloween is back. Pengu says 18 degrees Celsius is perfect temperature. Celsius to Fahrenheit. Oh, that's 64 degrees? Oh, that's lovely. No. That's my ideal temperature. I agree with Pengu. 18 degrees Celsius is perfect temperatures. Let's do 4 degrees Celsius. That's 39. So right now, it is 4 degrees Celsius. Ember says the Arctic blast sure did its thing by making its way down to the south part. And by the south, I mean Florida. Yup. Yup. It did its thing. Alright. Edits of characters. I make it a little smaller. Little smaller. So edits of characters would be Lazora. No, that's loose as Azora. Azura, Hecate, fight scenes, romance. The girl loves romance. You can't deny her that. There would be memorable quotes, book versus movies, stuff like that. We'd also have the Lazora Book Club and talk about OCs. Ember says, that's what my mom had us all do with her garden. Sheets and frost cloth. Poor plants. Oh, mercy. We're dressing up our plants. We're dressing up our plants in hopes they don't freeze to death. Goodness. Jay says, y'all, did you hear about the new Noah Kahan album coming out in April? I did not. I recall this name, though. I know you like Noah Kahan? Kahan? Callahan? No, that's Legally Blonde. Jay says there's a lot more angst on my edit channel when that happens. Ah, that's why it's familiar. Because you made angst edits and you made me cry at work. Well, joke's on you, because I quit my job. You can't make me cry at work if I don't have a job. Ha! I win! And he says, you'd think she'd be into Percy Jackson and turn feral after seeing the movie adaptations. Yeah. Let's say... Well, we're creating this. Let's say that she's not just about Good Witch Azura. Let's say she's also about the Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Ember says, never heard of Noah Kahan, but hope the album is good, Jay. Yes, I agree. Azura Book Club. Let's do, top 10 books to read. Getting out of my depressive reading slump. I think she would, like, even in the human realm, I think she would absolutely just lore drop, like, I fought in a war, guys. Jay says he made that song I made the Flapjack edit with. Bruh. Bruh. I'm about to cry, not at work. I'm about to cry, not at work now. It's all because Noah Kahan made the new album. Can't believe this. Relaxing says, do you like international travel? I would not know because I've never done it. I probably do not, though, because I don't like within my own nation travel. I don't like leaving my house. I like to stay right at my computer and chill, and I prefer doing it with my dogs, but my room is not dog-friendly at the moment because it's quite messy, and who knows what they could get into. So we've got some fandom ideas for Miss Luz Noceda. We've got some OCs, like Lazura. I'm just gonna stop it there. I'm not creating a whole OC yet. That'll be something else. Okay, so now we have fandom, and we could do that for each of these other content pillars. Now that we have an idea of what Luz is going to be doing, and when she's going to be doing it, and how she's going to be doing it, and we have an idea of what that'll look like specifically as well as generically, let's start creating her a YouTube channel. So we need a profile picture. In fact, I think I might just switch to just chatting screen. You're gonna get Frozen Lily for a hot second. That's okay. Enjoy awkward Frozen Lily. Until now, where you can see we better now. Everything has reset. My apologies. But that also means the phi thing is back. Let's go. Ember says, you are a non-nomadic person. Did I just make the title up? Yes, I did. I agree. Ember says, hi and bye, Frozen Lily. Hi and bye. I forgot this existed, Pengu. Why do you remember that? Now I'm stuck in place for 30 seconds and I don't have a timer. Let's say it's been 10 seconds. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's a lot colder when you're surrounded by snow and ice and icicles. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, we're good. We're good. Jaces won't be able to make the edit idea for a bit. Sad. The crunch so loud. I'm so sorry. I swear. I swear. I have it on my to-do list right now. Come on. I have it on my ice white bruh. Screw ice. I'm gonna just get rid of the Streamlabs. Ugh. Where are we? Dashboard. No! Maybe? I don't know anything, guys. Loudbot. Haha. Store. There we go. It's so loud. Hopefully that'll prevent the crunch from being loud. Thank you for remembering that. Pengu says hello again, Frozen Lily. Hello. Ember says the crunch so loud. Relaxing says, do you use TikTok? No, I do not. I do not use TikTok. Alright, so I switched to the main face because I want to look at a YouTube channel without accidentally doxing myself. So we are gonna go into... Can I do incognito mode? I don't know. I don't know. I don't trust myself to show what's on my YouTube and not accidentally show, like, my banking account details. Because I do have that. So we're gonna do, based off of the content that we think Luz would make, we're gonna do... let's make it easy. Let's do something to do with... books. Let's do a book channel. Relaxing says you can do incognito mode. I could, but I could not remember how. Alright. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this YouTubers channel. And we're going to look at videos. Bam. Okay. So now we can switch back over. And we're gonna do Spotify. Oh, that is in there already. Great. Great. Okay. So now we just have to deal with Frozen Lily for a second. Alright, I'm back, and we are looking at content creation. So I'm using Haley Pham as an example for Luz's YouTube channel because Haley Fam makes book-related content. So we are going to have a profile picture. We are going to have a channel banner. What else? We are going to have username. And if anybody wants to work on modifying their own channel or brand identity here using this fake thing, you're more than welcome to. You can also use it for your fandom stuff. So at username, so number of subscribers, and then number of videos. Bam. Then we're gonna have a little description. And then we're gonna have our selection of options. We're gonna go home. Video. Relaxing is just tap on profile or 3 dots. There's option incognito mode. Thanks for the tutorial. I will definitely check that out later. All right, shorts. Playlists. And posts. And we're gonna make these a slightly different color. I said slightly and then I made it wildly different. I had a reason, I promise. The reasoning is I'm trying to make this somewhat like YouTube, but still very obviously loose coded. Right. So then we're gonna have this be the first thing you see on the channel. Okay, so then within here, we're gonna have a video. This is a thumbnail with a title. We're gonna have that have number of views. We're gonna have number months ago. And then description. All right. So now we have a really crude and rudimentary version of what YouTube could look like for different characters. So I'm gonna save this as a reference and then put that over by Amity. So with Luz, we need to come up with the username. For now, I'm just gonna go Luz Noceda. And then I'm gonna use that as the username as well. I'm gonna say that she doesn't have a lot of subscribers. I'm just gonna say like 14 subscribers. And then number of videos, I'm going to say there's going to be a lot. There's going to be like 467 videos. Description or bio? Let's talk about Luz Noceda's description and bio. When it comes to a description, bio, whatever, you're going to want this to reflect not how you think of yourself, but you want it to reflect what your identity online is going to be. And so even though Luz is a bunch of different things in reality, if we are focusing on, let's say, her having a book, you know, having a book channel, then we're going to focus on SEO, search engine optimization words that will get book nerds to Luz's channel. So we're going to talk about books, nerds, fandoms, reviews, read with me, stuff like that. We can actually look up a bunch of... I'm going to ask Canva and see if it can help me. What are some SEO words for book video? For YouTube videos on BookTok content. We're going to see. Canva's going to take a while. Book recommendations. To be read picks. Trending reads. Cozy reading vibes. Fantasy reads. No spice. Viral novels. Reading wrap-ups. Book hauls. Bookshelf tours. Romance reads. Reader life. So from that one little SEO search, and you can ask ChatGPT, you can look up on Google, and there's a bunch of different like suggestions from a bunch of people who have done the work already. You can ask AI and Canva. This is the sort of thing that, because it has to do with technology and reading engines, I have no problem with asking AI to do the work for me. So with this one, I don't think like this. I think this is interesting to me, so obviously it'll be interesting to other people. But I don't know all these words. The internet does. So books, nerds, fandoms, reviews, read with me, book recommendations, TBR picks, trending reads, cozy reading vibes, fantasy reads, no spice, viral novels, reading wrap-ups, book hauls, bookshelf tours, romance reads, reader life. Not only are these specific video ideas that we might see in her channel when we do this version of the Luz Noceda YouTube channel, there are also keywords that will be very useful in her description. So let's say, hi, just a nerdy book lover who enjoys sharing her book recs, reviews, reading wrap-ups, etc. Love, love, love The Good Witch. Adora, Percy Jackson, The Olympians, and more. Then we can take these and turn them into video ideas. I just lost that entire thing because I decided to duplicate these squares. I love my life. All right. You're going to get rid of this and this. Pengu says, I missed it. Why does she not have 14 million subs? Because I think she would have a very small channel to start with. But we can definitely make it 14 mil. There we go, 14 million subscribers. Totally normal. Alright, so with a thumbnail, let's do a quick thumbnail and quick optimization. So we've got these colors, these fonts, and that motif of a snake. I want to bring that here. So let's do this white background. And then instead of just, let's do a cozy nerd corner. Cozy weirdos book nook. Cozy lit snakes. I don't know. Luz Noceda. We'll put a little snake next to the name. And then we will go in purple and put some popular things. Book Rex. Let's make it Mary Kate. Let's make it that bright purple vibe. Bam. We're gonna have some popular reading sort of things. Categories, genres, whatever. And TBR list. Pengu says her main video has to be an absolute random post or some shenanigan that YouTube auto-picked because it was the most popular. Alright, I agree. Relaxy says, I think less subscribers is good. It's more community-based and less spamming if you go live. True. That is definitely something to keep in mind, is do you want to have a bigger channel or do you want to stay at a lower subscriber rate? Because you can actually control that slightly, just based off of what you focus on with your optimization of your channel design and whatnot. So we've got Luz Noceda, and I would honestly want to connect Luz's name to something book related. So I can't think of any books, but oh, let me end the chat poll. Goodness. Alright, so some shenanigan that YouTube auto-picked because it was the most popular. I absolutely, that means I have to come in here and find random Owl House stills. We're gonna find the most chaotic Owl House still. I'm gonna just bring some over randomly. Oh, I think this is a winner. I think this one is a winner. So we've got loose waving. And we've got king. And all of these can go to the next one. Right? Okay. And then we're going to smart crop it so that it's like this. And then make it zoom in. And then in this bright yellow, I'm going to make that her font. I led a coup. And we're going to make it blueberry. And it's going to be that why you should go dumpster diving. I don't know. And it's gonna be some stupid amount of views for only like 1,400 subscribers. So like a good amount of subscribers, but like not so much to warrant this many views. And we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 views. And it's gonna be like 6 years ago. Into a jail and released prisoners, and then attempted murder of the warden for proposing to my adoptive mom. I think that's a good video, right? Alright, so now we're just gonna adjust the text here so that it's consistent. It's gonna be small and like pretty standard for all of these. I'm gonna resolve this one. Amber says, sure, lol. I'm gonna make it bigger. Bam. Like, these are actually italicized. Pengu says that's actually a good description of the first episode. She should be on trial. Thank you. Okay. So this one time, I high-key broke, I'm gonna say low-key. Chase's lol. Lol. So this one time I low-key broke into a jail and released prisoners, and then attempted murder of the warden for proposing to my adoptive mom before choosing to stay on in a magical realm full of your worst nightmares. All 'cause I went dumpster diving. Moral of the story. Moral of the story. Go dumpster diving. You'll meet your future love of your life. There you go. That makes sense, right? Okay, and then for the channel banner, we're gonna do little books. And I think she would be very rustic about it. I think she definitely would be very rustic about her book choices. And then vlogs. And it would just be such a major, like, whiplash between, like, what she talks about and what she advertises. Relaxing asks, why on Discord you wrote easy to cry in your introduction or profile, I think. Honestly, I don't even remember. It's been so long. And versus just saying it so casually too. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, I need to get rid of this one because every time Prologue by Leona Rain plays, I hate it. Like, I think it's a great music, but I can't handle how intense it is. Okay, and then all I need left is to see a still of Luz. So I think she would definitely pick this one of her and String Bean. So we are going to go to frames. Circle frame. And then go in there. Then background remover. That did okay. That did alright. We're gonna make this a yellow. And there we go. We have Luz Noceda's YouTube channel. Oh, let me make it a little better. There we go. We have Luz Noceda's YouTube channel. That being said, we can't just stop at one video from 6 years ago. Especially since canonically it could have only been 3 years ago at the very latest. So let's go 3. Alright. Let's go and make some thumbnails for Miss Luz Noceda. And I'm just gonna make random ones. Off of these random screen caps. Ember says her audience would be kept on their toes, that's for sure, with the whiplash. Yeah, for sure. Alright, alright. Let's do... Luz Noceda reading. There we go. We got some good thumbnail content here. Let's do this one. This one goes here. Jace is imagining her making a storytime video of the Grom episode. That would be fun. All right. Ooh, ooh. Let me go to my original one, and I will give you guys a tour of my thumbnails. This is how I make thumbnails for my YouTube channel. I have an entire thing called thumbnails, and then the rest, this is anytime I need to have like an overlay of some sort. That's the first one. And then we have screen caps. So I have different pictures where I posed, and then this is what it turned into. So I have this. It's actually not even this one. I'm outing myself here. The original picture is not this. So I pulled myself out of the picture, brought myself forward, and then edited this picture and myself using the background remover and then also the adjustment here. So I add brightness to about 20 and then maybe a little bit of contrast or maybe a little less. Sometimes it really depends. I up the vibrance and saturation, especially if I have a dark shirt on. And then I bring up the sharpness to make sure that I'm clear. And then for this one, I added a specific blur to it. So you'll see if I go to Magic Studio, it's got a blur and it has a very specific brushed blur that I added to the painting itself. And then I made it quite intense at 25%. And then I added some question marks, and this was the thumbnail. And then after I tried some phrases, but I ended up liking just like the question marks. And then once I made something, I did another version of it for the next thumbnail. So I have a different outfit on, but really it was the same exact day. I just threw on this black t-shirt, and then later I changed into this one. So that's why I have this outfit on, because I planned it like 4 weeks ago that we would make this video. Jace is imagining making a storytime video of the Grom episode. We will have to do that. Mr. Conductor Bro, welcome to the stream. Hello. Luz Noceda is an awesome character of the Owl House. Definitely agree. Definitely agree. I've been redoing some of the live streams, and I found that I like to keep my face. I'll take a screen cap from a stream and I'll blow up my face so that I take up about 2/3 of the right of it. Infinity, hello, welcome to the stream. How you doing? And then the left is like graphics and text and stuff that represents it. And that's what works for me. You'll see that basically every single live stream thing is the same exact thing over and over and over again. Sometimes I try different things. This was way too busy, so I scrapped it and I went with this one. This was something, I had a green screen background for this one, but I wanted to have the consistent background, so we just have green and red hair. We have this, which I think was fun. Again, we have that black shirt, but I just added a cardigan. So that was the same day as I posed for this. We have all of these study videos that I have ready. And then I planned for medieval stuff, and then it didn't work out because I had to study. Infinity says, I just beat Summit Downside. It was a pain. Congratulations. Relaxing says, you're so creative, Lily. Thank you. I will be real. A lot of this stuff, I collaborated with ChatGPT to give me ideas for what to do structurally, because without it, my thumbnails look a little something more like this, which doesn't give you an idea of what's happening or who's going to be doing anything. It's just, okay, we've got a frog, we've got some guy dancing, and king. Cool, but what does that mean? We've got this, okay, so we've got a picture, and we've got glyphs, but what do they have to do with each other? What's going on? Who's doing the painting? We've got ethical self-advertisement. Who's doing the video? Who's making this channel? Who's gonna be doing stuff? 12 tips for adulting according to the Owl House. Okay, is Luz talking about it? Is this from the perspective of Luz? Who's going to be talking in the video? That's been a major issue I've had over the years, and so I've had to summarize it. Or rather, I've had to switch it from chaotic stuff like this. You see, I was kind of getting there with a face and some text. I do like this one because we were in character. What if Hexside came to Hogwarts? But when it came to streams, consistently, we would go from vague info dump to my very chaotic stuff. So when it comes to thumbnails, you really want, you're basically making a promise. And so when you make a promise, you want it to be accurate and follow through with your video. So your face, if you are going to be a face streamer like I am, you'll want to have your face as a main part of it. If you are doing something, you'll want to represent what you're doing. And it's okay to edit it. I'll show you. This is actually way edited. I background removed me and I just threw in my... This is the same curtains, but I have the same exact copy of the curtains in every single video. You'll see the curtains don't change from video to video, and that gives like a consistency. So does the positioning of where I am, and the fact that generally I'm in the same type of outfit now. So I'm always on the right, there's always text on the left. Relaxing says, do you still play Minecraft? I'm not able to anymore, but I'm working towards it. Physically, it gives me a migraine. Infinity says, I'm currently uploading the uncut version of my clear. Congratulations! That's a lot of hard work. Good job. So with this one, I used similar colors, and then I had a phrase, but it didn't collaborate very well. It wasn't very cohesive. So then I tried to go for parallels where everybody's standing and looking. And I went for a sandwiching effect of red and then blue in the middle. But that one was very jarring. You've got these straight lines in there. So then I went, okay, how about I try, since I like the idea of two sides of the same coin, let's go for the parallel, but parallel similar behaviors. So they're both looking down, they're both looking sad, and they're both putting their hands in front of them, like they don't know what to do with their hands. And so that consistency helps create cohesiveness and makes you want to watch it. And then I made it 2 sides, same coin. So it's in the front. I've also been doing different thumbnails as well. So I tried different things. Gravity Falls is funnier than I realized. Here's why. I didn't pick this one. Can you guess why? That's correct. It's because it's way too busy and there's not enough contrast. So I did this instead. I made it really simple where there's just 2 characters and I increased the contrast between the text and the graphic. And then I adjusted the different angles that it happened. And then I also changed it from Chekhov's leaf blower to Chekhov's gnome. What is up with this guy? Chekhov's awkward sibling hug. And then I have this series that I'm going to be doing, where we have text on the left and the main character on the right. So this is the ultimate video I ended up with, and I have different versions. So we have when impulse becomes intention, when positivity isn't enough, when sacrifice defines identity, when masking shapes identity, when potential pulls you forward. I have that in different colors to represent the different colors that Amity has. When judgment turns to curiosity, when purpose preserves peace, when fury shatters you, when shame consumes you. You'll see that we have when at the front, and then a colored sentence, a colored word, and then an action, and then another colored word. We have when, a colored word, an action word, and then some other word. When poop emoji hits the fan emoji, I'm really excited about that one. I don't know what it's going to be about, but I'm really excited to make that video. And I have some other inspirational ones, just different screen caps that I want to use. And we have the same theme of character on the right, text and graphics on the left. And that cohesiveness allows me to avoid whiplashing you guys with my content. Fun facts, this was going to be this stream's thumbnail, but then I realized it wasn't specific enough and it didn't talk about the things that I care about, like the Owl House, Percy Jackson, Adora. We don't have my face there. Well, we did have my face there, but it was just vague, and this got specific and it got people excited. So, with that in mind, when we're creating Luz's thumbnails, we can take random pictures from the show, but we want to make sure that whatever we pick is cohesive and consistent. So we have this video. I led a coop and we have her to the right and the text to the left. We're gonna try and keep that style across all of these thumbnails, because if you look at Haley Pham, you'll see she has a pattern. She's somewhere in there. There's a book somewhere in there. There's a strong motif of orange and red and blue. And she kind of changes her text a little bit. But overall, it's pretty consistent. There's definitely a theme to her channel. Infinity says, the reason I am uploading an uncut version is because I'm not fully satisfied with the regular video's editing. That's valid. That makes sense. Relaxy says, yesterday I wrote some anime blog using AI, but I haven't published yet. Okay. I hope you're sharing that it's AI. What's the anime about? All right. We have this screen cap of Luz Noceda. And we're gonna, I think I'm just gonna do text and then blueberry text in yellow. We're gonna do it yellow, and we're gonna say, story time. Infinity says Celeste epilogue theme. This is Exhale by Lena Rain. It is Celeste, though. And I wouldn't be surprised if that literally is in the epilogue and it's just not the right name on Spotify. Mary Kate. Okay. So we're gonna do Mary Kate. Finding out my sister's an evil twin. I don't know. This one, I think I want to crop it. And then I think this would be a get ready with me for Grom. And I actually think some of these that I'm doing, oh, too big. So like this title, story time. And then this title would be Get Ready With Me, Grom Edition. Infinity says, I mean it plays in the epilogue, not that the epilogue is its name. Gotcha. Relaxing says it's about many famous animes like Naruto, My Hero Academia, Dragon Slayer, etc. Many more. Cool. Ember says, wait, is the evil sister V pretending to be Luz again, but also pretend to be evil? Yeah. So I think the thumbnail text could be different. Magical prom night. There we go. Infinity says, can you play Impeded from Strawberry Jam's OST? It is the theme of my pain. Okay. Impeded. I'll see if I can add that to the list. Study playlist. This is the Cozy Pixel. All right. It should be next up in the song list. Alright, so we've got Loose, Magical Prom Night, Get Ready With Me. This will be one of her Fandom Theories channel. And this one, the yellow doesn't provide enough of a contrast to read it, as you can see. So we are actually going to go with purple. Maybe. I don't know. I think we might have to do effects outline in white, maybe? And then make the thickness a little bigger. And then we're gonna go pack of cheese, not dead. Of course, now I think it's not enough contrast still, so we're gonna go with a purple and up the thickness. I think that works. We have this. Alright, story time, finding out my sister's an evil twin. And we'll say my evil twin. And then what did we decide was gonna be her channel vibes? Content pillars. Azora book club. There we go. Fandom theories. Azora book club. Okay, so we've got 3 videos. And so if I wanted to make them a little more cohesive, I would say the hint is per series, make them similar. So you don't have to make the story time, get ready with me, and book club all the same. But if you have multiple Azora book club videos, like over here, I would say make those clearly similar to each other. So my top 10 OTPs. There we go. So for this one, we've got Luz in the smack dab center, and then yellow and purple blueberry font in the center. For Get Ready With Me's, we have closer to my sort of thing, where it's like the finished look, and then the text on the left, and it's yellow blueberry font. And then over here, story time, it's just like a raw thing. Just straight up raw footage. And then I'm actually going to use Canva's extend feature. Magic expand. We're going to see if we can make the whole thumbnail. This is terrible. This is why I usually try to avoid doing this. If you can't come up with something that works, because these are just a little crazy. Okay, Infinity, I'm sorry, I don't like this music. It's not matching the vibe. So anyways, if you can't find an extension or a use that allows you to extend something naturally, then create your own background. Remove the background, throw her in there, so it makes sense for it to be like this. And then let's just throw in some more books to balance out the frame. So this is gonna be favorite, her digging, tackling my TBR tile. Is it exactly the same vibe as the other book club videos? Or, yeah, videos? No. But is it close enough? Yeah. And then it's also... yeah. Finally reading these. And then the only thing about this is I would say it's not her aesthetic. So I would go with a different background. Maybe keep one of her backgrounds, like the library. Owl House Library. So get a nice library. Make it fit the video. We're gonna make it blurry so that it's easy. Just gonna add it to the whole image, and we're just gonna make it blurry so that it's a nice background you can focus on Luz behind. And bam. If we have this background every time she does something book related, let's do a background remover for this one. Then this, position it backwards. Holding all those. Rating the Good Witch Adora series. And we could probably flip these to purple with yellow outlines because the background is kind of yellow. I think that would work really well. And bam, so we have a consistent sort of vibe here. Okay, I'm tired. I'm not gonna throw all of these in here. Let's just do 3. That way you can see them easier. And then Adora forever. Which one is the best? Alright. So we have 6 videos, as if Luz Noceda made them. They have a consistent aesthetic to them, kinda, sorta. If I just do this, then replace it here. Why is it caps locking? Jay says, I feel like I should do this for the Warrior of the Waves characters. You totally could. Ember says, lovely thumbnails. Thank you. So we have story time. And the intrigue for story time is, who is this character? Why does she look like a deer? And then finding out my sister's my evil twin is the hook. We could probably do story time with Luz. Phantom Theories, Azura Book Club, Azura Book Club, Azura Book Club, Azura Book Club. I think I'm noticing a pattern here. Just maybe. So all of this is by Luz Noceda. So because I didn't talk about Percy Jackson the Olympians, I'm not going to include that in this. And then I'm just going to make this be that one, like, light purple vibe. I don't know, just like off-white. Not quite that purple. There we go. Just slightly not perfectly white. There you go. Relaxing says, how do you focus for that long on work? When I do work, I'm like 10-minute working, 1 hour scrolling. It really depends. Sometimes my brain works with me, especially when I'm interested in it, and other times I cannot for the life of me focus. I'm learning to be more gentle with myself and accept that it's okay if I can't focus. It's just my brain, you know, communicating, hey, we need some extra support here. But it is frustrating, I will admit that. Okay. So there's my Luz Noceda stuff. From that, let's do something for Adora. Let's speedrun Adora. So instead of Luz, I feel like we should appreciate Luz one more time. So we started out with some colors, a snake, some fonts, and whatnot. We have the identity of all of this stuff. We have content pillar ideas to give us video ideas. We really dove into fandom because we knew that Luz would definitely focus on fandom stuff. And then we talked about like what her posting frequency, style, and vibes would be. And that created this. So I'm gonna do, I think before playlists, I'm gonna add in one for live streams. And then, bam, we've got this perfect. Why You Should Go Dumpster Diving by Luz Noceda. And then we've got all of these videos. Hi, just a nerdy book lover who loves sharing book recs, reviews, reading wrap-ups, etc. Love, love, love The Good Witch Azura and more. So, I would say instead of reading wrap-ups, I would say hot takes and fandom theories, etc. Love, love, love The Good Witch Azura and more. Alright, so we've got this. It's a little bit, a touch of a whiplash when it comes to the content, because we got story time, we've got Get Ready With Me, but overwhelmingly, it's definitely book club stuff. And then we've actually got some non-binary flag representation in that thumbnail, and about the only thing I would adjust about this is to make Luz Noceda as the you know, these usernames. I would just make it related to books, but she's such a multi-content queen that I'm just keeping it at Luz Noceda. Okay, let's do Adora. Swatches of Adora, I would say, are red. I would say she's also a yellow kind of gal. And I would say I'm gonna do like a pale yellow for the white. Alright, so there's the Adora flag. We're gonna do sword. Amber says, love the NB flag rep in there even by accident. Heck yeah. Outline these. We've got a sword. We're gonna have a cat in there. Because I think Adora's definitely somebody who likes cats. Just a hunch. We're gonna have... Oh, what else is Adora? She likes blue. There's definitely gonna be some blue motifs in there. So let's do... This is blue. I think it'll be just a tad closer to turquoise. So we've kind of got, like, primary colors going on here. I never realized that Adora's theme is primary. But I really like the cat thing. I think we could totally do something with the positioning of the cats and Adora's name here. Maybe put the sword through her name. Something like that. Let's try some different swords. We need a nice long sword. Yes. Okay. And then the way we're gonna do this... Okay. The sword is gonna go to the back. Relaxing says, do you know Tourette's? I have seen many videos of Billie Eilish who has Tourette's. I am familiar with what Tourette's is, yeah. Alright, so can we get an A? A! Can we get a D? A capital D! D! Can we get an O? O! Can we get an R? R! Can we get another A? A! Let's go. Alright, let's delete that. Alright, so now we are going to bring this sword. We're going to make the sword... We'll play around with this one. We'll play around with it. Because I really like this idea. So we're going to have 3 versions of it. A-D-O-R-A. That spells Adora. Thank you for indulging that. Okay. So this one, we're gonna go with colorful letters. Maybe red, blue. Great. No, keep with the color scheme. So we're gonna outline Adora. I'm gonna get rid of chat. I'm sorry. So we've got Adora. And then we're gonna have this sword. We're gonna put these backwards. We're gonna bring this sword forward. And it's gonna go over those letters. Alright. So we're gonna bring this to the front. Take it back now, y'all. Just kidding. We're gonna take it to the back. And then we're gonna put D and R to the back. We're gonna bring the cats absolutely to the front. And then we're gonna make this one, the sword, be blue. And then the letters, we're gonna try for red. And maybe a dark gold. No, I definitely like the red. I like the red. Okay, I said we were only gonna do 3, but we're doing more than 3, y'all. We want to see what versions make the most sense. So let's do one with yellow. And one with red sword. And then make this one blue letters and a black sword. Okay, I think I definitely like this one the best. So we're gonna save these as drafts that we have tried. Not giraffes, but drafts. This is going to be Adora's symbol. So we're going to have a banner there. Because this is Adora, it's gonna be this color. We're gonna get rid of the stroke weight. We're gonna throw in this. Alright, and we're gonna say Adora. And I'm realizing Adora doesn't have a last name. But I think she might be Hey Adora. Because I think that would be cute. I think that has potential. And then I don't like that color. I think maybe dark. I like the concept of darker background. So we're gonna play with some colors. I think ultimately we're just gonna go with that nice light yellow vibe. Okay, hey Adora. She's gonna be really famous because she is literally She-Ra. So we're just gonna keep the same 4 motif and whatever, but she's gonna have fewer videos. I'm gonna say maybe 67. Okay. And then her profile picture, Adora. We're just gonna make it this really smug looking Adora picture. And then I feel like Adora would make like workout routine videos. Like my training routine, how to work out like She-Ra, stuff like that. So I think honestly, I think some like acrobat-y thing. Maybe this one. I think that would work. And then it can't be Atletico in that blueberry. You see how we can't have the same font for Luz? Even though it works really well here, it clashes. Even though technically the words work, the energy here, she's smirking. There's cute cats. There's different energy with Adora than there is with Luz, and you want to reflect this. And when you're creating your own content, your identity online is going to be different than who you are as a person. You want to be consistent with that change. So the way that Luz is chaotic and quirky and bubbly and bright and all of these things, Adora is going to be different. We're not going to have the pink at all. I think that's going to have to be closer to blue. This text will stay the same, so will this, in the sense that the font and the size will stay the same. But instead, it's going to... We're going to have to reflect Adora's military background. Okay, what is this music? I don't like this. There we go. So... we have Adora. We have her here. I'm gonna actually move this and give her a different background color. I think maybe blue. No, I like the dark red. I really like the dark red vibes. That's a little more cohesive with the red in her outfit. Okay, so workout routine in the blueberry font does not work. Brick Sands is giving video game vibes. And if she knew what video games were, I might keep that. I would say that this is more so Gus or Hunter. Hunter. We're gonna keep that for any time we want to do a Hunter video. But we're still looking for something that would work for Adora. If we made it bigger, technically it could work. But it doesn't fit Adora. Workout routine. This could work. It's very legal vibes. Like following the rules sort of thing. I know her whole thing is about not following the rules and, you know, leaving the horde, but she literally stopped following the bad rules to follow the good rules. I think we could still do better. Jay says, wait, I'm gonna do one of these for Hunter one day. Okay, I'll let you do the Hunter one. If you're curious, I did brick sands for that video game thing. Okay. Kinda works. And then we are gonna do something about working out. We're gonna do, and actually we're gonna do chest, 15-minute chest workout. Because we've got basically a major emphasis on her, like, Dorito figure here. So... Alright, so we've got this. We're going to do effects. We're going to make it a little easier to read by popping it out with some other colors. We're just going to do black, honestly. Make sure that it pops. Relaxing says, what are you going to do after making this thumbnail? I'm going to do Percy Jackson real quick, and then I'm going to go to bed because it's 9:20. It is 9:20 p.m., y'all. It is, excuse me, I had to sneeze. 9:20, that's 2100. I'm looking at some texts. They were amusing. What are you guys gonna be doing? Alright. Let's ask Canva. In fact, let's not ask Canva. Let's just ask it to transform text. Please write a YouTube bio for Adora, we'll say veteran who shares workout videos. Blacksmith says no, with these thumbnails. You gonna sell these thumbnails? No, why would I sell these thumbnails? This butt, she, not proud veteran, more so disciplined vibes. She talks about staying in shape as She-Ra and when she's not She-Ra too. There we go. No, I don't know why I would sell thumbnails or anything. That kind of sounds like a ripoff to whoever would buy it, because they could easily make it themselves by just watching this video. I hope when you go to work it's a good day. All right. I bring the same energy to my workouts as Shira, even on my days as Adora. Join me as I share exercise routines, motivational tips, and insights from my hero journey. Let's get stronger together. There we go. That's not the same vibe, though. We have a workout vibe here, and then we have very cutesy gamer vibes. So I'm gonna save what I have workout-wise, and then I'm gonna change this to match the cutesy vibe. So now, instead of this, I'm gonna ask Canva for rewrite text. No, I'm not gonna ask Canva. Magic write, transform text. Please write a description for a gamer. That, forget the workout stuff. Forget the transformation. It's just Adora who games. This is why you don't use Chat, GPT, or AI to do actual writing, you guys. It sucks. Alright. Come play games with me on my Twitch. I think this would just be a VODs channel. www.twitch.tv/HeyAdora. Relaxing says, I hate my work, so it's never a good day. That's why I'm trying to make money online to get out of this job. Well, that sucks. You usually find, I don't know, even when you have a horrible day with stuff you don't like, there's still something good in every day. You can still have good days, even if it's a really hard day. I guess now that we're doing the gaming, you have to be prompt master to get desired results, or you could just use your own brain. Let's see. I think she would definitely love Zelda. I think she would like my cozy cat cafe. Let's do Mario Party. I think she would definitely play Hytale. And then she would definitely do Fortnite. She would absolutely love it. Alexis says, yesterday I was sad, then I consider my online friend showed up on YouTube. I was really happy to chat with her. Heck yeah. See, there's always something good in every day. Even on the worst day of your life. Jace says, OMG, I need to find a fanfic where Adora plays a Zelda game. That would be cute. If all you look for... I don't mean to say, like, if you have a horrible day, you're not allowed to have horrible days. Everyone's allowed to have horrible days. But if all you look for is a horrible, and all you expect is horrible, and that just becomes the normal, then you're never going to have an opportunity to have a good day. You're restricting yourself to just bad days. Pink bubble pattern. Ooh, star pattern. We're gonna do stars as the background. Position backward to back. To the very back. Back, back, back. Forward one. There we go. There we go. Okay. So now I just need to find Adora video game. In Hightail. Ah. Oh my gosh. What is this horrible edit? What is this horrible edit? Ah. If you didn't see it, you are welcome. I ended it. If you did see it, you know how horrific that was. Okay. We're gonna have her She-Ra character, her identity, be that character. And then we're gonna do Zelda, Breath of the Wild. Or no, we're gonna do Hightail. And then this is gonna be the thumbnail. Go to the back. We're gonna flip this. I'm gonna make it so that she fits inside. Lexi says, I don't know how people smile for so long. I'm like, someone showed up, I smile, and then in 2 seconds, I'm poker face, like, I don't know. I have a mask. So I'm able to put it on face. But typically on stream, I'm pretty honest, I would say. Conquering. I don't know. Early X. I don't know. Indulging the horde. I don't know. Hightail. With Adora. She-Ra. I don't know. We're gonna magic write. See if it'll work. Please write a YouTube thumbnail or title related to Hightail, Shira, and conquering villages. There we go. Epic Hightail Adventures. Alexi says you look cute even when you're not smiling or maybe when angry. Okay. I don't... People say I'm cute, but I don't get how that's... I don't know. And then... The description is going to be really simple. It's just going to be... Because this is Adora. She's literally just gaming on Twitch. This is her VODs. Stream VOD. Watch me live on Twitch. And then it just redirects to Twitch constantly. That's the entirety of her stream VODs. Okay, so we've got Adora. Let's do this one more time for Mr. Percy Jackson. All right. With Percy Jackson, we of course are gonna have blue. And green. Let's do like a coral and then a gray. We are gonna do, even though he definitely has a sword, I think he would not incorporate the sword into his channel. I think he would incorporate bubbles, maybe? I think he would definitely be interested in incorporating... what would his channel be about? Relaxing says I have Canva Business and Pro for free, but I'm not using that often. I really love it. It's mainly what I use for most of my content. Struggling to think of stuff for Percy. So let's go back to identity descriptors. He's going to be troubled kid. He's going to be demigod. Are we going to... Oh, he's going to be... this would be like... I would say content pillars. He would do story time. He would absolutely do story times. So... I don't know how that happened. Story time with Percy Jackson. That one time I blew up the arch. Percy would post interviews with sea creatures and quest vlogs. Yes. Interview with Mr. Blowfish. Sorry, Paul. I really like this idea. So we're gonna make this the video. It is literally just going to be a literal blowfish. And I think he wouldn't really care about how it looks. But he would definitely put, like... I think you would put little graphics on the guy. Like, monocle. I think you would personalize these fish. We're gonna keep it 3 years ago for each of these. And then today I toured the deep sea locations. Mariana Trench. And met what's a good name for this fish? Doug. The blowfish. He's quite the distinguished sir. And I hope you enjoy the interview. And then I think because Percy knows nobody else can hear what the creatures are saying, I think he would have somebody voice over. Doug's VO voice actor. And that's gonna be like at Grover Underwood. I don't know. And then I'm gonna edit this and actually I'm gonna take the brightness down and then bring the contrast up because I think he would have terrible phone footage. Like enchanted phone, but it's got terrible filming. Okay, so we're gonna make it Walker Scobell. Underwater. And then trying to find clips of Percy underwater without Walker being close to death. Because that was just season 1. You know what? We're gonna go with this one. Underwalker. Reset. We're gonna keep the original coloring. And gonna get rid of the stars. That one kid. Troubled kid. At Percy. It is going to be lame. We're gonna go in between Adora and Luz. We're gonna go with like 689 videos. And story times is deep sea stories. But we're gonna go bright blue, and then this is actually going to be deep sea vibes. Relaxy says, I have to go. I'll be back if possible. Bye-bye. Have a good one. Bye, relaxing. Thanks for joining. Have a great day. Even though you said that it's gonna suck, I believe that you can make it a good day. Deep sea. Let's make it red. This coral color. And instead of the fantastic that we started out with, for me, I really like this cabin sketch. I don't think he would go with it because it would mess with the dyslexia, I think. But I think it would be nice. I like it. And then we're gonna put little fishies. And then maybe we can get a black mastiff to represent Mrs. O'Leary. I'm gonna flip it, and we're gonna make it much darker. Trying to get it so that it's just a dark. That's gonna have to be close enough. I'm gonna edit it to have a dark filter. There we go. So we've got Mrs. O'Leary. We've got deep sea stories. Just a kid and his dog. I don't know. Deeper sea stories. We're going with it. We're going with it. All right, and then I interview fish in the ocean and also vlog my worldwide adventures with friends sometimes. All right. So, we have officially created let's see here. We have done a YouTube channel for Luz Noceda. We have done a gaming channel for Adora. And we've done a Deep Sea Stories YouTube video for Percy. They've each got their own aesthetic. Luz Noceda is very, like, cutesy book, fantasy, romance, aesthetically pleasing. And then it's just, like, a whiplash of an experience for the recommended video. Adora is absolutely just using this YouTube to promote her Twitch, and she is absolutely milking her She-Ra identity. And then Percy, he is absolutely loving the fact that he can interview sea creatures, and it's getting a wild amount of views. And yeah, this has been a story in how to take your quirks, your habits, your unique traits, you know, let me switch over to just chatting. I'm frozen again. Hello, I'm back. I don't know, I might actually... Let me hide the chat box real quick. And Spotify. So yes, thank you for joining the stream. Thank you for watching this video. If I turn it into a edited video, we looked at Luz Noceda, Adora, and Percy Jackson, and we created distinct brand identities for them on YouTube. We talked about how brand identity goes beyond just what makes up a character. It's also what they want to create on YouTube, making a consistent pattern across their content, and just having fun with the whole creation process. I hope this provided some insight if any of you are going to create your own YouTube channels. And it's been a long time. We've been streaming for 3 hours. I gotta go to bed. So now that I've filmed a little clip that I can steal for YouTube video. Hello, B4Beautiful4 Fun. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for joining. Hope you have a great rest of your waking hours. Welcome on in. Right as we're ending. Thank you for starting the buy train, Ember. Mari, welcome to the stream. The second you show up, it's over. Yeah. Jay says, I really like this group headcanon thingy. Thank you. It started out a little rough. I was shifting gears from, you know, homework. I did financial management. Bye! That was really loaded. Oh my gosh. No, but I started out like 3 minutes from finishing my quiz. Bye! I don't know why the emotes are so loaded. But, or the redeem buys. Anyways, I finished an accounting test pretty much 3 minutes before stream, and the first hour was really rough getting my brain to switch gears and transition, and I think that was really indicative of what it's like to be neurodivergent and have a brain that really struggles with transitions. But clearly, as the stream has shown, if you have people who are willing to sit with you and commit to the shift and get excited about it and help prompt your brain and give you, you know, support when your brain's not working, and just like, hey, it's okay, we got you, we're excited about this, we're here with you, you got time, it's okay to suck at talking, you know, you can make those transitions and you can switch over your brain, you can do the transition from task to task. So I have made this ending really long and this stream even longer. Ember says, thanks for the stream. Have a good one, all, and start to your week. Yes, I hope your week goes wonderfully. Whether you are freezing your butt off or you are nice and toasty and warm and enjoying. Hi, Infinity. It's always Infinity with the highs. And then other people join in and it scares me. Whatever your week looks like, I'm really proud of you for sticking through it and showing up and doing your best. You can make it a good week. And I get it. Life sucks sometimes. It is really hard to choose joy and to choose to look for the positives. But even the act of looking for it is worthwhile. So does life suck sometimes? Yes. Can we do things that make it suck a little less? Also yes. And I'm proud of you. So, take care. Do things that make life suck just a little less. Whether it's hanging out in stream or drinking hot cocoa or just choosing to turn off your brain for a couple minutes a day. But as Jay says, good night, everyone. Good night. We have sent out the 10 gifted memberships. So once again, shout out to all the gifted members. And I will see you guys another day, another stream. See you Wednesday. Bye.